statistical, mathematical fact
never has been down.
has broken every single record. There is no asset that has come close.
It's the only thing in the industry that was not touched, that was not hacked, and it never fails doing what it promised in 2009. It's never
What's
failed.
the best performing asset the world has ever seen? And you'll find out that it's Bitcoin.
Welcome if you are a supporter, a hater, a follower, a subscriber, a Bitcoiner, a shitcoiner, a Bitcoin negator. Whether you are a seller, profit taker, or hodler, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know where you're coming in from, if you don't mind. Just let me see some comments here. Where are you coming in from? Where are you piping in from? What country? What city? What zone? What county? Talk to me. Talk to me. I see no comments. Now, I do know that the platform I use is, for whatever reason, limiting comments. So I see some comments and not others. So some of you might be commenting, and it's not me ignoring you, if that's the case. But I just want to let you know that. So I see Argentina. Lara, welcome from Argentina. All right. Hey, self-care and happiness. Pennsylvania, California. Nice. Nice. All right. What else? Chicago. Chi-town. Haha. Yeah. All right. I'm representing Colombia, so Colombia's in the house. All right, guys. So I wanted to have a brief talk with you today. For those of you who are following my posts, you know, you'll be very much aware of the fact that sometimes I get on a specific theme and I will start pounding the table on that theme. And I find myself pounding the table on a singular theme today, and that is that the idea that Bitcoin is a generational asset, and you should be very, very hesitant to sell it, let it go, or revert back to what it frees you from. I've been teaching for the last 4+ years that Bitcoin is not like anything that we've ever known, that it is an asset that for the first time is outside of the system that we've been forced to operate in. That Bitcoin is an asset that for the first time is not in the control of any human being. For the first time, we have an asset that cannot be manipulated by human beings, run by human beings, stopped or halted by human beings, debased by human beings, that cannot be inflated by human beings, that human beings can't touch. For the first time, we have an asset that is immune from any involvement from the human race, whether that human race is in the form of an individual, or whether that human race forms a group, or whether that human race forms a nation state or a government or a big tech corporation. It doesn't matter. For the first time, we have something that operates every single second of our existence without human beings running it. Think about this, guys. Bitcoin runs without human intervention. What? Every single asset we've ever known is actually created by a human being, run by a human being, monitored by human beings, manipulated by human beings, regulated by human beings, and dictated by human beings. Human beings say when it starts trading, when it stops trading, when it halts, when it doesn't. I mean, this is the only thing that human beings have nothing to do with. And so mixing this special asset with everything else that's man-made and man-controlled and man-manipulated is an error. You see, Bitcoin is the escape from that. We were forced to deal in a world where where the rules can be changed on us. Every single asset we were forced to go to is in the hands of a small group of people that control it. Every single one, whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's options, whether it's bonds, whether it's Forex contracts. Do you understand that a small group of human beings run every single one of them? They dictate the rules and change the rules, right? Every single one of those markets is manipulated and controlled by a group, a small group. When you think of it from the entire human race, the entire globe's population, a small group of men. And every single asset we've ever had access to throughout history has always been limited in its availability to human beings. For instance, Apple stock right now is Apple as a company, its shares. That company is the most valuable asset on planet Earth outside of gold today. How many human beings can actually own Apple? Out of 8 billion people, it's tiny. How many people can own Microsoft or an NVIDIA? How many people can actually own a 5-year US Treasury bond? Shit, Russia can't even have one now. Venezuela can't have one, a US Treasury bond. Iran can't have one, a US Treasury bond. Every single asset has been limited, and Bitcoin comes into existence and makes itself available to every single human being on Earth without permission. Guys, you can't lump this in with any other asset that we know. And by treating it the same way will be, in my opinion, the error of your life, not only your life, but the error of your entire family's bloodline. I believe the mistake is as grave as that. You take profits on junk because it's junk. You take profits on crap because it's crap. You take your money from a casino when you get it and you leave. Why? Because if you stay long enough, that casino is going to get it back. If you stay long enough with the crap that we've been exposed to all of our lives, if you stay too long, you're going to lose it. So I understand the profit-taking mentality when it comes to crap, when it comes to things that are manipulated, when it comes to things that are in the control of other people, when it comes to things where they change the rules when it doesn't fit them. Remember the Robin Hood scenario with GameStop? Weren't the rules changed when it didn't fit them, when it didn't fit the powers that be, when the wrong person or the wrong institutions were losing, when the institutions that mattered were on the other side, the rules got changed. That can't happen with Bitcoin. And if you lump Bitcoin in with that bullshit, you're going to make the biggest mistake of your life. You see, Bitcoin is the escape from that. And if you escape it, in what world is an escape to be sold? If you escape slavery, no one says, well, you know what? I now have my freedom from massa. But when do I sell my freedom? When do I take profits on it? When do I take profits on my freedom and go back to slavery? I've escaped these manipulated things. I've escaped and left the system and gone to a system that can't be manipulated. But when do I go back, Oliver? But Oliver, when do I get rid of freedom? When do I get rid of the escape and go back to being trapped? When do I go back to the junk, Oliver? Really? This is a fundamental misunderstanding of what Bitcoin is. It is not another stock. It is not another bond. It is not another option. It is not another man-made thing that a small group of men have the right and the ability to change the rules on. This is a generational thing. Billions of people not born yet will come to realize that this is the sublime thing. This is the supreme thing. You don't sell the supreme thing for the crap you left. Bitcoin, in my opinion, this cycle will top Apple. It will become the most valuable asset, in my opinion. This cycle, before the end of 2025, Bitcoin will be the most valuable asset on earth outside of gold. Now, you tell me, what do you take profits to when you're taking profits with number one? Like, what do you take profits to? Number 50? Number 50? Oh, yeah, I'm going to sell number one and go to 50. I'm going to sell number one and go to number 7. I'm going to go backwards. I have number one. I have the sublime. I have that supreme thing. But now I'm going to get rid of the supreme thing for what? What do you get rid of the supreme thing for? You see, historically, people, those who have amassed generational wealth for their families and for part of their family not even born yet, generations in their family not even born yet, live off of the decisions made by some. Generational wealth. If you look at every single case of generational wealth, you'll find, if you dig deep enough, you'll find at the core something that they never sold. I promise you this, people. It's there. Every family who enjoys generational wealth today, if you peer inside the history, if you go to the source, it's something they still have today. It's something that was never sold. I am telling you that Bitcoin is that thing. You see, in the past, those things that you could latch on to and take advantage of and never sell and create generational wealth for your families. Those things were only available to the elite. Those things were only available to the minority. The little pinch of salt. And for the first time, generational wealth and opportunity is now universally available to every single human being if you understand what it is. For the first time, it's not for the elite. For the first time, it's not for the pinch of salt. It's not for the powers that be. It's for everyone. But I read your comments. I see you falling for these narratives that are predicated on the idea that Bitcoin is no different from anything else I sell. Sell that shit for a profit. I see you falling for this. And I believe, as certain as night follows the day, you will regret for the rest of your life. All of this comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of what you have. This is fire. It only happens once. This is akin to the number zero that revolutionized the use of the mathematical protocol forever. Do you understand that there's going to be 2 additional billion people that are not even born yet by 2050? That's the estimate. We're 8 billion today. By 2050, the estimate is that we're past 10 billion people on Earth, which means that there's 2 billion more people that haven't been born yet, that they will be Bitcoiners. Oh, you bet your bottom dollar they will. 2 billion more Bitcoiners are coming for your Bitcoin. They're not even born yet. Forget the 8 billion already here. There's 2 billion in the waiting room coming for your Bitcoin. You don't think that means that the value's higher? 2 billion more people coming for your Bitcoin, the value's not higher? So you want to get rid of it. Does that even make sense? If a business had, listen, we've got 2 billion more clients that are going to buy our shit. Should we sell the company now? Are you fucking kidding me? We've got 2 billion more clients coming, and you're talking about selling now? What? Guys, sometimes, man, you know how I see some of you who talk to me about, yeah, Oliver, I'm going to sell the top and I'm going to sit on the sidelines, and when it drops 80%, I'm going to put the money back in and I will outperform you. I will get more Bitcoin than the hodler. You know, when I read those things, you know what I'm imagining? I'm imagining how you look when you're typing this, when you're saying it to yourself, like this. I'm gonna sell Bitcoin and I'm gonna sell Bitcoin. That's how you sound to me. That's how you look to me. I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but I don't care. That's what's in my mind when I read those comments. I'm sorry. Okay, listen. Boom. Don't sell your Bitcoin. That's right. Now, I know that some of you are like, well, Oliver, man, like, look, I'm making the supreme sacrifice now. Like, I don't even have chairs, Oliver. You have a chair. I get it. My car was made before 2002. I'm doing this because of Bitcoin. At some point, I have to realize something for my sacrifice. And I think that this concern comes from this notion that you won't be able to benefit from having the most valuable thing on earth. Like, I know that I'm dealing with different levels of financial sophistication here. I understand that. And I do try to keep myself poised and rooted in that realization as I'm reading some of your comments and things. And I constantly remind myself, Oliver, you know, you've been in the financial field as a professional for 37 years. These are not people who have. Calm down. Woosah, woosah. Okay. So I do try to do that. But see, to me, being in the financial space, I understand that this is a concern that is unfounded. But Oliver, how can I realize the value from my Bitcoin? Wow. Okay. Let's get this straight. This concern comes from this notion that you, as an owner of the most valuable thing on planet Earth, will not be able to use the value. Are you kidding me? What? The most valuable thing on earth becomes the most desirable thing on earth, which means that you will have to bat away people rolling out red carpets to you, trying to give you things to bring you to them. Do business with my financial organization. You're a Bitcoiner, do business with my financial. You're a Bitcoiner, do business with my bank. I have this benefit for you. I have this benefit for you. I have this benefit for you. Countries are going to be vying for you. Come live here. Oh, you got Bitcoin? Come live here. We have no taxes. We have this, and we have this. Countries are going to be like, no, we will pay you for the first 5 years being here just to be here. You get paid to be here. Guys, I am telling you, the world is going to descend on you. You're going to have to beat it back with a stick. You're going to be like, go away. I don't want anything else. Go away. Go away. I'm good. You're going to have the most supreme, the most desirable, the most valuable, the most pristine asset on earth. And you think, and you're asking me, but Oliver, how am I going to realize my value? Well, and let me tell you something. This is right around the corner. I'm not talking 20 years from now. I'm talking 2 years from now. It's already starting to happen. You know? So to me, there is no concern in the future for being able to live and be okay without ever selling your Bitcoin. This will be a thing. This will be a thing. I'll give you an example. Back in 1998, I took a portfolio, a big portfolio that I built up of stocks. And I took it to the wealth division. I'm not going to say the name of the firm, but I took it to the wealth, big, giant, internationally known firm. I took it to the wealth division. I set up a meeting with the wealth division of this big firm. All right. There are certain firms that have wealth management divisions for institutions and very wealthy family offices and clients and so forth and so on. And there's a threshold that you usually have to have in terms of value to even get an appointment there. 1998, I go in with my portfolio. I establish my account, which required that I ACAT all of my stocks to that firm. So my stocks that I was holding in this collection, this portfolio, were at a different organization. So it's called an ACAT, like a transfer. I ACATted everything over. Once the account there was settled, they handed me a checkbook. Listen to me carefully. They handed me a checkbook. See, back then, checkbooks were a thing still. I literally got a book of checks. I was able to write any check for anything I wanted against the value of that portfolio. And they gave me up to 85% of the portfolio. So let me give you an example. Let's say the portfolio was $10 million. Okay. I got a blank checkbook that gave me the right to spend as much as $8.5 million of the $10,000 value. That's right. Up to 85% of it. Now, I could buy a home, buy a yacht, a trip around the world, buy a villa in Italy, whatever. A business, cars. I could buy anything I wanted to without ever selling a single share of my portfolio. This is with freaking stocks, a collection of stocks. The portfolio served as collateral. They were comfortable enough with what I had to give me up to 85%. Now, was there interest on anything that I wrote against that portfolio? Of course. But you see, the idea was that the value of the portfolio was going to rise faster and higher than the cost of the interest. So I'd still be winning. It's free fucking money. Do you understand? I never had to sell my assets. This is how the wealthy operate. They don't sell, they borrow. Selling gets rid of the thing that makes you valuable. If I were to sell the $10 million portfolio, I have just gotten rid of what made me valuable. So, the first thing, you sell the thing that makes you valuable. The second thing is you then bring a partner into your dealings called the government that comes and takes a tax bite out of it. So you bring a bear market onto your assets. You bring a bear market. You know what? Taxes are a bear market. Like all of you are afraid of Bitcoin dropping in a bear market. Well, what the fuck do you think taxes are? A fucking bear market. You bring a bear market every single time you sell Bitcoin for a profit. You just brought a bear market onto yourself. If your short-term gain garnered a 35%, 40% tax bite, up to 55%, depending upon what state in the United States you're in, because there's federal and state taxes on that. You bring a 40 to 55% bear market just like that on your asset. What? The wealthy don't do that. They don't pay that. They find every possible way not to sell, but to borrow against the thing of value that they have. Real estate moguls have had this figured out for hundreds of years, no? They don't sell. I mean, I'm not saying they never sell, but the prime thing that makes them special is never sold. If you got a trophy that makes you interesting to the world, you don't sell that. Like, think about the last time you've heard the Mona Lisa sold. You don't sell the Mona Lisa. You can borrow against that shit, that ugly photo forever. Do you understand? Forever, generation after generation after generation. Any financial institution would write a check against that shit. Any amount you want. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of you bozos don't really get this because you're making erroneous assumptions. Erroneous assumption number one you're making is that Bitcoin is like every other asset. Wrong. It is the escape from every other asset. And once you've escaped, you don't go back to the trap anymore. We're trapped in stocks that are manipulated, controlled. debased. The rules change on us. We're manipulated. We're forced to deal with what's manipulated. We're forced to deal with, to navigate between the things that others control and can change the rules on. Until now, Bitcoin, you want to escape that bullshit? Bitcoin. But once you have escaped, you don't go back. You don't. Well, Oliver, what about the 60-70% declines? Well, what about your 40 to 55% declines as far as taxes are concerned? Man up, deal with it. Use the decline to get more so that the next period makes you even more special. Let me show you something here. Let me show you something. There's 1,600 people here. I want 1,600 people to look at this right now. This is going to change your life, what I'm about to show you. And the way I'm going to explain it is going to change your life. I promise. Watch this. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Now, I want you to look at Bitcoin's performances. We don't even have 2024 on here yet, which is black at the top too. Okay? Black is at the top. So there's another column that's more than halfway done. And we need another black one here. Let me show you. We need another. Can I do this? We need another. Let's see if I can do it. We need another freaking black here for 2024. There's 4 in a row here. All right. Anyway, here's what I want to show you. Bitcoin is the best. Let me just make sure you can see this, right? So Bitcoin is the best performing asset in the entire world compared to all the other junk that is controlled and run by human beings. The thing that is not controlled and run by human beings trounces everything. 2014 is last. Okay. So when it's not number one, it's last. Okay. We'll get to that. 2015, all the things it trounces, the thing that is not controlled by any human being, not manipulated by any human being, can't be halted, can't be stopped, can't be debased by any human being or group or corporation or nation state or government or institution. This thing trounces everything that has ever been available to human mankind. It trounces it. 2016, it beats by orders of magnitude every single thing that human beings have ever had access to. 2017, it once again beats every single other thing that was pushed in our face as a viable option. It trounced it by orders of magnitude. 2018, it didn't. Okay, it was last. So when it's not number one, it's last. Doesn't it deserve a rest? Doesn't it deserve to sit out? Doesn't it deserve to catch its breath? Okay, 2019, it trounces every other thing available to human beings. 2020, it trounces every other thing available to human beings. 2021, it trounces every other asset, every other opportunity available to human beings. Okay, 2022, it doesn't. Okay, it's last. It's taking a freaking well-deserved break. Stop being a freaking slave master. Give it a chance to rest so that it can come back rejuvenated to start again. Changing your life. Okay, after a rest, boom, 2023. We've got 2024 coming up. Let's do this. And 2025 coming up. As you can see the pattern, down, 1, 2, 3, up. Down, 1, 2, 3, up. Down, 1, 2, 3, up. This, for the first time, is a level of certainty that no other thing made available to us ever delivered. Nothing delivered certainty like this. We had to trust other men that they wouldn't fuck with it, they wouldn't mess with it. So now, here is my question to you now that we've looked at this, okay? Here is my question to you, you Einsteins out there, okay? This is my question. Let me see if I can get this done here. This is my question to you, you Einsteins out there. My question is, what action is better from a mathematical odds point of view? Being in the asset or being out of it? See, being in it, you get this, 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 and this. Because remember, this is 2024 and 2025. Right? Okay, being in it, you have to deal with this, this, and this. That's it? Wait. Wait a minute. So, Oliver, are you saying that from a basic mathematical point of view, if I just stay, I get rewarded exponentially more than not if I just stay put? Well, yeah, look at it. Look at it, mofo. Look at how many blacks you get versus non-blacks. Why, from a mathematical point of view, would you ever bet not black? Like, so for instance, guys, listen to this. If I gave you, right, listen to me, smoke on this for a second. If I gave you magic dice and I said, look, okay, I gave you this magic dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I gave you magic dice and I said, look, these dice, you have to roll these dice 13 times. And if you roll the dice, every time you roll this dice 13 times, you will win 10 times and lose 3. Okay? You got to roll it 13 times. The dice is going to win 13 times. It's going to come up with the number, the winning number, which is, let's say 7. Let's say the number is 7. It's going to, if you roll these dice 13 times, it's going to come up with 7 10 times. But there's 3 other times it's going to come up with some other random freaking fucking number. You understand? But you're guaranteed to get 10 sevens. Now, go make money with this. Roll this 13 times. And at the end of 13 times, you're a huge winner every single time. So what are you going to do? Are you going to bet every single roll? Let me ask you this. Is it smart to bet 7 every roll? Somebody tell me. If you're going to roll it 13 times, you're guaranteed to get right? You're guaranteed to get 10 sevens. 3 times you're going to get another number. So should you guess every roll? Let me see. On this roll, I think I'm going to get 3. So I'm going to bet 3. Is that smart? On this roll, I think I'm going to get 10. So I'm going to bet 10 on this roll. Or is it fucking the most intelligent thing to bet 7 every single time and get to 13? Isn't that the smartest thing? To bet the same way every single time. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Because at the end of 13, you win 10 times. So let's take that analogy, which is not perfect, but it's close, and let's apply it to Bitcoin. Why would you ever want to be out if being in, you win 10 times out of 3? You win 10 times out of 13. Why would you ever want to be out and take the chance that you miss 1 or 2 or 3 of these magnificent things? Why would you ever bet another way? I'm going to bet out now. What? There's too many black here, bro. Bet black every time. The fuck are you doing? Where did you go to school? Now, some people out there have accused me of not knowing maths, of not being astute with maths. All right, I'll accept that, but I don't fucking have to be. I can count to fucking 3. I can count to 4. That's all I need to do is count. All I have to do is count to 4. 3 years up, 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 1 year down. That's it. Repeat. 3 years up, 1, 2, 3, 1 year down. 4. That's it. I don't need math beyond 4. So there. I'm not making this up. Look at it. 3 blacks, 1 not black. 3 blacks, 1 not black. 3 blacks, 1 not black. Now I hear what some of you are thinking right now. You're saying, but Oliver, history is no guarantee that, there's no guarantee of the future. History is no guarantee of the future. I know that's what some of you are saying. How do you know it's going to continue, Oliver? Dude, all I can say is that, look, history is the only thing we have. It's the only thing we have to rely on is the past. We don't have the future to rely on. The future becomes reliable once the future becomes the past. That's the only thing we have. What the fuck else are we going to use then if we don't use the past? What are you going to use? You're going to use a flip coin? You're going to lick your finger and stick it in the air and see which way the wind blows? What the fuck else are we going to use? We only have history. And until that history changes, you got to go with that. So for instance, Monday follows Sunday every single week. But wait a minute, Oliver, how do you know in the future that's not going to change? I don't know, but I will tell you this. Because in the past, the days of the week did change. Oh, yes, they did change the days of the week because there were certain Roman emperors with huge egos that says, I want a day of the week named after me. And so Emperor Augustus, Caesar Augustus said, we're going to create a month. I'm going to create a month. And the days of the week changed. The days of the months changed. The years changed. So I don't know in the future if that's going to happen again. But you know what I have? I have a very reliable history so far that Monday follows Sunday. And I'm going to keep betting on that as long as that's the reality in my face. Anything else is creating a mental movie in your mind and giving your mental creation greater credence, greater respect than fucking reality. I get this all the time. Oliver, but what if? I'm like, you just created a movie in your mind. It's called What If. That what if has never happened, but you see for 15 years this happening. So you create something that never happened in your mind and you put it next to something that's happened for 15 years and you give the thing you created in your mind more important than this? Really? You give your mental movie greater respect than what has happened every single time in your face? I see this all the time. You know what that's called? Ego. This is the same thing that got Lucifer kicked out of heaven. No, I am God. I create reality. What I create in my mind means more than what's happened in life itself. Oliver, I know Bitcoin goes up 3 years, up 1, 2, 3, down 1, up 1, 2, 3, down 1, up 1, 2, 3, down 1, up 1, 2, 3, down 1. I know this, but I've created something that might happen in the future, and I'm going to respect that I created more than reality. I am God. I see this mentality all over Bitcoin Twitter. The disrespect of what has happened to give the respect to what has never happened. What? Oliver, what if it's not up 3 years in a row this time? I'm like, well, do we have a scenario where that's ever happened? No. So until that's the case, I'm betting with reality. I'm betting with what's happened every single time. I'm not betting with what you came up with between your two big giant ears. I'm betting with history. It's the only thing we had. And until that history breaks, that's the way I'm going to bet. And let me tell you something. That approach, people, has done me quite well over my 4-decade career as a professional market player, betting on what is, not on what may be. Oliver, this might happen. So I'm betting on what did happen over and over again. Well, Oliver, it's possible that Monday no longer follows Sunday. Maybe. But I'm betting on Monday following Sunday because I've seen it for 15 years. I've seen it my whole life. I'm betting on reality. I'm betting on what has happened, not on what my imagination comes up with. And every time I hear it, I can hear them in my ear. But Oliver, what about this? And why do they always talk like that? But Oliver, they sound like that, all of them, right? Oliver, they hold their hands close together like that. But Oliver, their elbows are close. Oliver, but Oliver, and their hands are always to the side. But Oliver, what about this? But I'm worried about this. And I know this has happened every single time, but what about this? What if this happens? Man up. Come on, guys. Man up. We have a freaking map. Look at the map. I'm going to take a sip of water. Look at the map. 3 up, 1 down, 3 up, 1 down, 3 up, 1 down. What the fuck is next? We're already in the second black, right? We're already in the second black. Are we not? We're in the fucking second black, people. Let me get rid of this. How do I do this? We're in the second black, 2024. So we've had, once again, 1 down and now 1 black. 2024. This is 2024. 2 black. This year is almost finished. It's beating everything on planet Earth. How do I move this here? And we have, this is 2025. Now, boys and girls. 1, 2. Now, listen to me, boys and girls. Are you ready, boys and girls? We've had 1 up, 2023. See? Boys and girls, follow along. We've had now 2, almost complete, 2024. Boys and girls, what's next? What's next for 2025, boys and girls? Up, motherfuckers. It's up. And let me tell you this. Here's what's amazing about this. The last black square is always the biggest. Did you hear what I said? The last black one is the mega black one. The last black square of the 3 in a row is the big one. Oh, yes. I see no comments coming through. Am I hurting some people's feelings? Is that it? There's 2,200 people here. Well, welcome to 2,200 people. I love it. Thank you. All right. I got one more thing to share with you, and then I'm going to let you go. I promise you. If this pattern is to continue, people, and it is, let me get rid of this. Give me a second. Let me get rid of this box here. How do I do this? Okay. One last thing. These down years after 3 blacks, this is what people are afraid of. This is what you are afraid of. This is what you're afraid of. But I'm going to do my best to make you actually stop disrespecting them with your fear. You see, these breaks are not to sidestep. That is disrespect. After Bitcoin delivered for you 3 blacks in a row, you deny it? Remember, Peter denied Christ? After everything with Christ, he still fucking denied him? We don't want to be Peter. After 3 amazing years, when Bitcoin needs to rest, you deny it? You abandon it? No, we embrace it. And for embracing this year, it makes you exponentially, you and your family, wealthier the next 3 blacks. You see, these down periods are actually Bitcoin's benevolence. It is not to be sidestepped. It is to be taken advantage of. You want to make you and your family wealthier? Buy the fucking dip that prepares you and your family for the next 3 black in a row. You see, the wealth, people, the wealth from, let me do this a different color. The wealth from these 3 come from what you do in this one. Are you following what I'm saying here, people? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Your future wealth depends on what you do in the down year. The down year sets the layup for you and your family for the next 3. You can send you and your family into the stratosphere if you do the right thing during the down squares. That's the setup. That's the fucking layup. That's the gift. It is not to be shunned. It is not to be dropped like a freaking hot potato. It is to be embraced. You understand that everything in life operates this way, right? I'm going to explain this to you. Thank you very much, all in one. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to explain this to you. Everything operates this way. Look at the down years again. Down, up, up, up. Down, up, up, up. Down, up, up, up. Got that, right? So throughout life, everything in life teaches us that this is how it has to be. So let me give you an example. In order for a basketball player or a dancer to leap in the air, he or she must first squat. Squat and then leap. If you try to leap first, you don't get very far, do you? We must squat first, then leap. The down years, that down year is Bitcoin squat. And the 3 years is that magnificent leap. You want to catch it on the squat and sit back and enjoy and relax and chill on the leap. Okay, where else do we see this in life? We want something to grow, a tree, a flower, a plant. We take a seed and we put it down into the ground first. It goes the opposite way, down first, and then the shit grows up. Down is always first, and then up. If the seed sits on top of the soil and doesn't go down and sprouts, it will quickly wither away. It must go down first, then up. We see this all throughout the universe, all throughout life. You want to shoot a bow and arrow forward, you pull it back first. In. Remember how they did in the Olympics? All right. You pull it back first. Like they do. Pull it back first. Then it goes forward, back, down. Backwards is first. Down is first. Then the forward. If you don't get the back first, if you don't get the back part right, you don't get the forward. If you don't squat properly, you don't get the height. If you don't pull the arrow back just right, you don't get the forward. If you don't put the seed, if you drop the seed on top of the soil and you don't get it down right, it doesn't work. Tell me you understand this. Somebody tell me you understand this. I got one guy in here. There's 2,500 of you here now, and I got one guy typing, but maybe that's my platform limiting people. I don't know. Every 4 years, Bitcoin delivers a gift, and you are disrespecting it. It is handing your family extra riches. heightened wealth, more freedom over the following 3 years if you embrace the gift, embrace the down, knowing 3 years of heightened wealth, heightened riches, increased freedom, greater independence, more self-sovereignty comes over the next 3 years. And you are trying to sidestep that. You are denying Bitcoin. I appreciate that. Don't fuck this up, guys. My God. It's the easiest. I know it's hard to, it's difficult because of what we've always been forced to deal with. It's difficult to say, but Oliver, it just can't be that simple, can it? I understand, but yes. Why? Because Bitcoin is maths. 1 + 1 = 2, no matter who's the president of the United States. 1 + 1 = 2. It's a mathematical protocol. 1 + 1 = 2. No matter if there's peacetime or wartime or high interest rates or low interest rates, recession or booming economy, it doesn't fucking matter. Bitcoin's like TikTok next block. 1 + 1 still = 2. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Remember all the narratives? Well, Bitcoin is only known a low interest rate environment. When the Fed starts raising interest rates, that's it for Bitcoin. Say goodbye to Bitcoin. Yeah, right. All-time new highs. In the highest interest rate environment in decades, it blows all of this bullshit away simply because it's maths. 1 + 1 = 2 every single time. And you want to bet that, wait a minute, Oliver, but this time 1 + 1, what if 1 + 1 = 5? This time, what if it's not 3 black in a row? Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, guys, there you have it. There you have it. Let me get this out of the way here. Take this. Listen to this talk again, people. Listen to it again from start to finish. I want to say one final word about all the models out there that are floating around. Every cycle, we get the new models, right? Quite frankly, I'm tired of these plan guys, to be honest with you. There's plan A, plan B, plan C, plan G. I even saw a fucking plan Z. We've already gone to Z? Really? I thought we were fucking dealing with G right now. How the fuck did we get to plan Z? Oh my God. But I will say this. I'm not an enemy of models, frameworks. I think they can be quite helpful because for some, they just need some framework that their mind works that way. I just need a framework or something. I just can't just be loose like you, Oliver, that is going up forever. I need a framework. I need something. Okay, I get it. All right. And in that respect, the frameworks, it doesn't matter if they're right from numbers or percentage of gain or percentage of adoption. I don't give a fuck what those numbers are because most models are at least directionally correct. That's all a model needs to be. It doesn't need to come up magically with the specific number. Oliver, I'm not I'm not satisfied with direction. I want a number. Give me a number, Oliver. Give me a number. I'm willing to draw it from a hat. Please just give me a number. I want a specific number. I'm not going to play, Oliver, unless you give me a number. No, no, no. Like, okay. That is the wrong approach. It's fun to come up with these numbers. I play the game too. But the number, a specific number, is not important because it doesn't require us to be set for life to get the number right. What requires us to be set for life is just to be directionally correct. You don't need a fucking number. You just need to be directionally correct. And that's enough to set your family's life up forever. Just being directionally correct is enough. So from that perspective, most models are directionally correct. And so I applaud them for that. And I don't care if the model comes up with a number. All right, that's just having fun. All right, let's just see. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with those things. What I do have a problem with is when people promote these models as a reason to get rid of the precious. When they use it as a model to say, you know, you can sell out of the most valuable thing on earth, the scarcest thing on earth, and go to the 150th most valuable thing. And that's smart. The idea that my model will change the statistics that timing markets is a failing enterprise. It has been forever a failing enterprise. To time the market has been a failing enterprise forever. But my model is going to change that. It's going to change your psychology. It's going to change all of the emotional hurdles that a human being goes through once they're out of a thing. Do you understand that you become a different human being the minute you let something of value go? You are not the same, and you never will be the same psychologically and emotionally, because it puts you in a position of being defensive. Now you have something to protect. You have gains that you've locked in, and you got to protect that. So now you're shy about going in, because if you pick the wrong time to go in again, you might ruin the gain that you actually locked in already for your family. And so you now put yourself in this. Is this the bottom? I don't think so. I don't think 15,000, 16,000 is the bottom, because look at this FTX thing. I think 10,000 is the bottom. I think 3,000 is the bottom. Do you know how many people are still waiting for Bitcoin 12,000 that thought they could pick the bottom or the right time to get back in? Even if you get lucky and say, boom, I sold high, Bitcoin is now low. If you even get that right, and you won't, you're not that good. I'm sorry. Trust me, you're not. But let's play your movie where you're the star. Everybody's the star. They're masterful traders in their own minds, in the movies that they play in their mind. I'm an excellent trader. Yeah, right, buddy. Yeah, in your dreams. Then you wake up and say, I got no Bitcoin. But okay, let's go with your fucking dream in your mind. You're a masterful trader. Okay. So you pick the bottom. I guarantee you, you will not have the money. You mean 12, 14, 16, 18 months later, you're going to hold on to every penny that you locked on? Get the fuck out of here. That'll never happen. Your wife will spend it. You'll take a trip around the world. You'll buy a car. You'll go into some fucking shit coin and blow it. You'll put it in a stock for safe holdings, and the stock will tank. You're going to fuck it up. That's if you're a masterful trader. You still will lose, because you will still not have the money that you sold 18 months ago. Don't tell me you're that fucking disciplined. I don't believe it. I don't. You're not that good. And in addition to that, You think your significant other is going to let you do that? Now, I got this from Fred, who I never even really thought about this. I got it from his post, and I'm going to keep it. Thank you, Fred. Fred brought up the point, your significant other is probably not going to let you. You gained it. For guys, our significant others, once you realize the game, that's it, dude. No, they're not letting you put that shit at risk again. It's not going to happen. Not for most of you. It's just not going to happen. And something happens the moment you get money from something. Have you ever noticed this in life? You get money from something, and all of a sudden, it's almost like the world knows, hey, John McDonald just got some money. Let's go knock on his fucking door. You get for some reason, where the fuck did these people come from? Like I got every relative in my freaking family now have a problem. My wife wants me to help her aunt, and this and that. Life descends on you when you lock it in. When you lock in profits, life comes. All right, so what about this? What about spending it on this? What about this? You know, your mother just got sick in the hospital. What about this? Life comes for you. You pull it out of Bitcoin, life comes for you. Life comes for that. And so the odds of you having every single penny, even if you timed it right, and you won't, but even if you did, you won't have all the money. And some people say, well, Oliver, you know, I'm very, very disciplined. I'm going to keep the money safe and be ready to plow it back in. There goes that movie again in your mind where you're the star. You wrote that script, dude. You wrote the script and you wrote your role in your own movie. That's not real. I'm telling you. But okay, let's go with your script. What happened to the amount that you lost through taxes? 35%, 45%, 55%. Oliver, no, it's long term. Okay, 20%. So 20% is gone. You're going to replace that? You know, guys, mathematically, it just doesn't make sense. I showed you this. Roll the dice 13 times, you get 10 wins. It doesn't pay to bet a different number than 7. If it's going to roll number 7, 10 times out of 13, you bet 7 every single time. You don't try to guess which numbers are the other 3. That doesn't make sense. You stay in. Compound gains, compound interest. The 8th wonder of the world, according to Albert Einstein. You don't fucking interrupt that. You don't stop and go with that. You don't in and out. You don't sell freedom. You don't get out of prison and say, well, when do I sell my freedom and go back to prison temporarily? You don't escape and then go back to being trapped again. This is all asinine. And I'm telling you, anyone who's promoting this shit has not gone deep enough. They might even be telling you with the greatest and the best of intentions. They might be good people. They just haven't gone deep enough to realize this is the precious, my precious. This is the precious people. This is that sublime thing, that magnificent thing, that life-giving thing forever that you never let go, you never deny. And they haven't gone there yet. So beware of them. Don't fault them. They just haven't gone deep enough yet. All right, man. Whew, 2,900 people. Thank you very much, guys. Listen, I made a promise over 30 years ago when I started speaking all over the world on the topic of trading markets for a living. I still continue to be one of the most sought after speakers on the topic of trading markets for a living around the world. And I travel to many, many different countries and multiple continents every single year speaking on the topic of financial freedom. But I made a promise over 30 years ago that as long as I'm given an opportunity to speak to a single soul, whether it's one of you, 5 of you, 5,000 of you, I will do my best to deliver something of value that I believe you'll be able to use forever. That's the goal I have every single time I sit in front of a mic, stand on a stage, in front of a podium. My goal is to try to leave something of value that will ring true in your ear forever. I hope I've done that here tonight. But if I failed, if I haven't, I promise I'll get better every fucking time I get in front of this. I will be better than before. Better, stronger, faster. Do anybody remember that? Anybody remember the $6 Million Man? Okay, guys. Ciao. I'm dating myself. I know this now. That was the 1970s. $6 Million Man, Lee Majors. You guys don't know. You don't know anything. All right, guys. Ciao for now. Boom.
My name is Oliver Velez, and I am your 13%er Bitcoiner. Be safe out there, and until next time. Boom.